Have you ever been in a situation that you feel like unbearable? For example, you have to stay with a person you don't like, or you have to do a job that you hate. In those situations, I think the best medicine for us is patience. And today I want to talk about why and how we can practice patience in our daily life. What I'm sharing here is mostly based on the teaching of a monk, Master Vien, and my personal practice in reality. And I think what I'm going to share with you is nothing compared to the profound of the Master Dharma talk. So I leave the link of his video in the description box below and you can check it out. Now let's dive into the topic. My approach to practice patience has two parts. Firstly, cultivating right views, and secondly, taking care of my unpleasant feelings. Cultivate right views. Generally, my reaction can be categorized into two ways. When I have a favorable condition, I tend to attach to it, and I want it to be with me for a long time. You may wonder what's wrong with that. Most of us like those pleasant feelings, but the nature of life is impermanence. Everything changes continuously. And someday, when that easy condition doesn't exist anymore, for example, when my loved one passes away, or I lose all of my money, I will suffer if I resist that situation and hold on to my good times in the past. For me, attachment can be seen as a form of greed, of craving for pleasant feelings while everything changes frequently. Another reaction is my resistance to adversity. When I face an unfavorable condition, I tend to stay away from it. I want to suppress this by distracting myself with other things that bring me pleasant feelings. Some people may distract themselves by consuming alcohol, shopping, or even sex. Actually, it's much easier to run away than being present with my unpleasant feelings. But by doing those things, the unpleasant feelings doesn't go away forever. It's only temporarily go back to my subconsciousness, and it can come back to my mind even more intensively than it was before. And for me, the resisting behavior is a form of hatred. Though two types of reaction above are caused by a wrong view that only favorable circumstances can bring me happiness, and I need to remove all those obstacles in my life to be happy, I think it's an impossible mission. By maintaining a wrong view, I usually behave in the direction of greed or hatred. And greed and hatred can easily lead to ignorance when I don't think, speak, and behave in alignment with the truth, with the universal principle. According to Buddhism, greed, hatred, and ignorance are three poisons that lead to severe suffering over and over again. The right view is life always has two sides, gain and loss, success and failure, joy and suffering, and so on. But the mistake is to only choose advantages and try so hard to eliminate disadvantages. Those opposite pairs are like two sides of a hand. If I choose this side, I need to accept the other side as well. It's like when a baby is born, we need to accept that he will pass away one day. Moreover, the bad side may not always be as bad as it seems. For example, if we don't feel the heat when we touch fire, we will be burnt. Or if there's no mud, lotuses cannot grow up beautifully. So practicing patience during hardship helps me to realize many valuable life lessons behind its negative form. Take care of my unpleasant feelings. After having the right views, I put that into practice by experiencing life. Commonly, people consider patience as waiting and hoping for something good to happen or for this adversity to be over. For example, we think we will only be happy if this pandemic ends. Please don't get me wrong, it's beautiful that we can have hope in difficult times. But what I want to talk about here is not that kind of patience that I put my peace in the hand of uncontrollable external circumstances. What I want to talk about here is being patient with my unpleasant feelings or emotion in the present moment. I know dealing with that kind of feeling is so painful. For example, when someone treats me badly, when they behave disrespectfully, or when they shout at me with toxic words, or when I have a severe illness. And I think it's normal that we want to get out of this shit as soon as possible. But the thing is, a turmoil, a disadvantage, a challenge is only the first arrow that strikes me. It can leave pain for a while, but it cannot destroy me. It is the second arrows, my avoidance or suppressions of those unpleasant feelings that amplifies the pain by hundreds or even thousands of times. So, what do I need to do? All I need is cultivating earnest, mindfulness, and insight in the present moment. This means coming back to myself to be aware of my mind, my body, and the circumstance in the here and now. For example, when I deal with a complex task in my job or a difficult issue in my life, I don't try to solve the problem quickly. I practice patience by being present with the task at hand and maintaining awareness of my mind and my body at the moment. Whenever my mind wanders into the future or the past, I recognize those patterns and I learned from observing those patterns. Usually, my mind travels to the futures because it wants this thing to be over quickly, and it believes happiness only happens in easy situations. But with the right view that I learned, I easily recognize that wrong view and let it go. Actually, even when this unfavorable condition is over, my mind will want more and more advantages. The greed will never end. Or my rational mind usually hesitates because it wants to choose a perfect solution. But there's no such perfect solution in this imperfect worldly life. And that imperfection is needed for human beings to wake up from dreaming from ignorance. Only when I'm awake, the consciousness comes to reveal the truth. I don't need to strive for solutions. Actually, the sufferings I experience are necessary for me to learn about the ultimate truth, or wisdom that can free me from dramas of worldly life. Moreover, favorable conditions will not stay with me forever. So if I resist what is in the moment, I will only have the short-lived joy that fluctuates according to unstable external conditions, and I will not be able to touch the kind of happiness that is long-lived, more stable, and can be cultivated in any situation. Or when someone curses me, I practice patience by coming back to myself, being aware of all those painful feelings and taking care of them. I realize and learn to let go of my wrong perceptions, like I need to make that person change his or her behaviors, or I need to eliminate him or her from my life. But when slowing down, accepting my anger, little by little, I realize they teach me a lot about compassion. They behaved like that because they suffered badly. They were not able to handle their suffering, so it spilled out. They need help, not criticism. Top persons also taught me about the elusive ego. The ego says that I am deserved to be looked up. That person is wrong to put me down, and I need to protect my image. But actually, I don't need their respect to be happy. Only the ego wants that. Or the ego tells me that person is an enemy who can harm me and my personal benefits. But actually, there's no separation between me and that person. We interact to survive. I am here because he or she is there. Thanks to conflicts, I can realize clearly the illusions of a separate self and learn to behave with understanding and compassion. I also shared about interbeing in our previous video. You can check it out in the link above and in the description box below. And if I have enough energy, I practice listening deeply and patiently, listening with my full presence, without judgment, without reactions, even though he or she has many wrong perceptions. I can provide some facts to correct those wrong perceptions later, but not now. Just about half-hour listening deeply like that person can feel relieved so much. From my experience, hardship taught me many valuable life lessons. Why do I need to remove it? I quote the Buddha, "When touching life, the mind does not move nor has sorrows. Liberal and immaculate is noble blessing." End quote. What I understand is the mission in life is not about staying away from adversity to cling to fortune or to achieve something, but the mission is about realizing two sides of life and learning my life lessons. If a good thing comes, I enjoy them but not hold on to them. If adversity happens, I still live calmly and relaxingly with it, not try to remove it or want it to be over soon. By practicing this kind of patience, I can be at ease with life as it is, and I can touch equanimity amid a turmoil. The beautiful part of it is that I don't need to outsource peace and happiness using external conditions anymore. I can cultivate inner peace and happiness right here, right now, no matter what happens. Everything just flows, and I can go smoothly with the flow. It's so simple, comfortable, and easy. That's it for today. I hope you can enjoy this new way of practicing patience, and I hope some tips in the video can benefit your life. And I also want to hear from you your tips to be patient, so please leave your comments below. One more thing I want to tell you is that those days my schedule of uploading video is not stable because I have more things to do recently. So please subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss our next videos. We usually talk about minimalism, inner peace, and mindfulness. And you can unsubscribe whenever you want if you don't find it useful anymore. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you like this video and we will see you soon.